Well, good morning. Saturday, June 6th. You caught me stringing some trellis. Now, a couple things about container gardens in the summer. As they grow, you got to really pay attention to the water. The bigger they get, the more water they're going to want. You do not want these to dry out. Also, the containers are very limited in the amount of soil that they have, and they don't have worms making castings. So don't be afraid to supplement their feeding a little bit. I'm not promoting any product, but there's one that starts with an M and a G that's pretty safe. Haven't fed anything yet, but we made it through the powdery mildew. I am sold on the peroxide, the 3% peroxide, 1 teaspoon to 1 cup of water in a spray bottle. We'll continue to use that if we see any indications at all, just as a maintenance. Quick update on the horseradish. This is the third morning. The peroxide wash did burn some of the green, and it has died off to the sides, as you can see. But we still have some green that seems to be doing okay. These are supposed to be pretty tough plants. I'm pretty excited to see how this is going to go. Cody, a new subscriber, sent in pictures of his containers. His peppers, his tomato is growing really well. Got a trellis set up for his cucumber as soon as it takes off. And he's building a mulch pile using old leaves and now grass clippings. Cody, thank you for your submission. Jeremy's pumpkin has sprouted. It's hard to think something this small is going to be as big as it's going to get. Luther is a new subscriber who wanted to share with us his rose garden. I'm going to have to ask him what his trick is. That is beautiful. Since you caught me trellising this morning, we're going to continue along that theme. One of the reasons we set the fence up the way that we did was that we knew that we were going to use it as a trellis. Now, these are the spaghetti squash seeds that we started. And you see these things are running pretty good. One of the things about a trellis, unless you have access to both sides, you want the holes big enough your hand can fit through. Now, the spaghetti squash has no problem grabbing on and holding. And you want to be gentle. Okay, it's already grabbed on here and here. You don't want to go behind that, but you don't want to try to thread it through down here because it's already too long. So to help it out just a little bit, kind of edge the leaf through. And as the sun hits it this morning, these leaves will stretch on out. And this one's almost too big to, if you can help it a little bit without tearing it, that's a good deal. It will hold. Now my goal, obviously, is to keep this low and then thread it back. My goal and this plant's goal, probably two different things. Your tomatoes, as they grow, just keep working them inside the cages. These are our determinant. If you let them go too much, you run a risk of breaking them when you're moving them. When we planted the butternut squash, we talked about the reason why we put the flag where we plant it, because they start running. And if you have to water, you want to be able to get the roots. It's running nicely. And this thing's going to get 50 or 60 feet long. Since we're talking about trellising, and we put the string out for the tomatoes, you can see how much growth we've had just in a few days. That's the other beauty about doing them on a string. So I'll go through here this morning and I'll take care of all of these. But they've all grown quite a little bit since we put the initial string on. Just come through, raise any leaves up above the cages. Give it a nice gentle wrap. You don't have to go around each leaf. Don't stress it out trying to get it. Don't knock any fruit off trying to wrap it. Kathy and Ron sent in an update. There's some blackberries that are growing on the back fence. Look what Tucker picked. That zucchini is spectacular. Jean's peppers are growing well. Got strawberries. Jean, your tomatoes are getting out of hand. When all those tomatoes get ripe, your countertop won't hold them. Thank you for your submission. We already got one nice little cucumber for dinner. It was very sweet, but I'm gonna have to add to the top. I knew I was going to. Here's a good example. Say you have a cucumber against a wood fence, but you want to run it up. You can get some pretty inexpensive wire. Try to make sure it's big enough to get your hand through, and that way you don't have any cucumbers stuck between the fence and the wire. If that happens and it gets completely ripe, turns orange, it'll stop the cucumber from growing. Oh, looky there. By trellising, you can get a whole lot more food in a small area. Oh man, you see that one? And just like that, seems like overnight, we go from hoping they will come up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna start picking beans tonight. Don't tell my wife. I got the first bean. Oh. And that's why we do this. It tastes great. We shot the video growing these beans less than 2 months ago. Now I'm eating them. This is our pole beans. This is why we preset these panels back when there was nothing growing, because we knew they were going to run, and it's already at the top. It's already at the top, and it's got a bunch of its neighbors that are running just fine. The entire length. Cantaloupe that made it through the armadillo attack are also doing really well. The thing about having chicken wire or rabbit wire around the bottom, it's pretty tough to thread them through. But once they get up just a little bit, we've got the larger wire, these are going to trellis just fine. Hey Bear, you see your zucchini? It's starting to, we might actually be able to get some zucchini relish. Can you believe this was that little itty bitty plant we planted? Like I said, this entire area is going to be a sea of giant green leaves. Well, the garden seems to be doing okay. Bear submitted an update for the lemon mint. Bear, you're just showing off with this mortgage lifter tomato. Oh my gosh, that is huge. Hey Bear, even the one that you gave me, it's got a couple tomatoes. Remember, if you'd like to be part of the subscriber submission group, just subscribe, leave a comment down below, message me on Facebook. All the other gardeners would love to see what you're doing at your place. I want to thank everybody that's participated in the subscriber submission. I want to thank all my new subscribers. I want to thank you for coming to the garden. Come on, let's plant. Let's go plant garden.